You know, you spent 4 seasons as the head coach in Washington. I believe you had 3 different names while you were the head coach in Washington. And the new general manager, Adam Peters, has stepped in and done some things in free agency. Do you like what he's done so far for your old team?
I do. I think trying to shore up the offensive line is first thing, especially if you're going after one of these young quarterbacks. You have to be able to protect them. There's some good, young, talented players that are still there. I think Sam Cosmi has a chance to really ascend and be a top-flight guard in this league. I really do. But it's going to be about they got to find the left tackle, okay? And if they do truly draft a quarterback, which everybody believes they're going to do, I believe they're going to do it too. Now it's just a matter of which one it's going to be. But they've got to be able to protect them. I think there's enough quality playmakers in the room. I think running back, they have what they need in B-Rob, okay? I think Christopher Rodriguez gives them another good option at running back. I think Terry McLaurin and the rest of that receiving crew is a group of guys that can really lead that team, be impact players. They've got to solidify the tight end spot. I know they went out and brought Zach Ertz in, which is, I think, a really good move because a veteran guy that's still got good football left in him is going to help that group of young tight ends continue to develop even more. But they got to protect him. So I can see them taking a quarterback. And I'd like to think that they may take an offensive lineman with one of their first 2 picks in the second round as well. So there's an opportunity for them to continue to grow and build that team.
Well, Caleb Williams most likely gone to Chicago.
Yep.
Jayden Daniels on the board. Drake Maye's on the board from North Carolina. J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. Penix from Washington. If you were in the draft room and you know you needed a quarterback, those 4 guys that's left, which one would you take?
Well, again, to me, it depends on the style of offense you're going to play. If you're going to play a little bit more prolific style, I think Drake Maye's the guy. If you're going to be the Cliff Kingsbury right now is the offense coordinator, unless Cliff changes a little bit of what he wants to do, you're looking more of the spread, okay? The air raid style of offense, which is going to require a little bit more mobile quarterback, a little more athletic quarterback, guy that can extend plays with his legs and yet still have the ability to throw the ball downfield. If you do that, Jayden's your guy, okay? But he's got to learn, he's got to change his mentality about learning to protect himself. Because, again, he took a lot of hits, a lot of big shots in college football, and it just gets tougher in the NFL. So understanding how to get rid of the ball, when to get rid of the ball, and then take care of yourself.
No, because he's not skinny. He's just a thinner frame.
Yes.
And so I think everybody looks at him and they say, well, he's a little smallish to take the pounding that some of these big quarterbacks take in the National Football League.
And we talked about this earlier too. Richardson in Indianapolis. I mean, he took a pounding because of his play. I mean, here's a guy that plays all out, but at the same time has to understand how to protect himself. He's got to, again, think about his career and his impact on his football team. He showed some really good things with his athleticism and his arm talent. Now, you've got to be smart and understand, I've got to take care of me to help this football team so that they can win more games with him on the field. When he's not on the field, it doesn't give him a chance to help the team.
Last week, Washington hosted those quarterbacks. They brought in all the QBs for whatever. It was pretty weird to me. I've never seen a situation before where you bring in everybody on the 30-30 visit at the same position. What did you make of that situation when you heard of it?
First of all, I think they wanted to see how everybody reacted to that. I mean, again, everything that they do is a test. Everything they're doing, they're trying to gather information. If you bring guys in and they're all kind of around at the same time, you kind of watch to see how they handle that. Okay, does one guy get into the conversation about, hey, why you want to bring all these guys in when I'm the best guy? Now there's a confident guy, a little cocky, but confident, or another guy says, man, why would you, and all of a sudden he doesn't like it. Well, here's a guy that's a little insecure. So they're doing these things for a reason. What is their reason? Well, they want to make sure, first of all, everybody understands we get it. We got to find the franchise guy. We're going to bring them all in because we want everybody to know that we want to see everybody so that when we make our decision, it's the guy that we believe is the best guy for us.
So a guy like Jayden Daniels has a relationship with Antonio Pierce and the Raiders. Deep relationship all the way back from high school, college at ASU. I know him very well. And there's a lot of pre-draft smoke. He doesn't want to play for the Commanders. Have you ever dealt with a player not wanting a high pick, not wanting to play for your franchise? And if so, how would you handle that in the end?
Well, it's interesting because the thing everybody got to understand is they don't get to pick. Okay, the players don't get to pick. They're picked. So they're going wherever they're picked. You don't want to hear that necessarily as somebody that's got to pick. The general manager's going to make the decision. They don't want to hear that. They really don't want to hear that, and they don't want to hear it coming from the player or his camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Because again, camp starts talking, hey, you know what? Y'all need to be quiet because we're making the decision. And again, if we don't take him, he may get taken somewhere else where he really doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
So, I think everybody got to understand it's about the pick. It's not about decision. They're not deciding, the team's deciding. And again, wherever he goes, he's going to go someplace where he's going to be the face of the franchise. He's going to go someplace where he's going to develop those relationships.
I think he wants to be a Raider.
Oh, he may want to be a Raider,
I think he wants to be a Raider.
Again, the opportunity to be a commander might be pretty good for him. And what's to say going to the Raiders is the best spot?
Yeah.
AP's a great person, good human being. He really is, and a good football coach. But it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the best fit for him.
Yeah.
So, again, y'all just got to sit there, bide your time, understand what's going on, and become part of where you are. He can impact that community, too. That community will wrap their arms around. This is a tremendous fan base in Washington. People understand that. That's why the league wants that group to be back.
Yeah.
Because when you got a fan base that's on the northeastern seaboard, all right, where 1/3 of the U.S. population is, that means people are going to tune in to watch that football team. So again, if that football team gets that young man and that young man becomes part of what they're trying to do and they're having success, everything he's ever wanted will be there for him.
Yeah, when I was coming out in the draft and as the number 1 overall pick, I told the New York Jets pre-draft not to draft me, because they wanted to do a pre-draft deal. So they say, hey, we'll take you number 1 overall, but we want to pay you like you're the 5th pick of the draft. Yeah. I said, no, not doing that. No. I'd rather go to Jacksonville at number 2 and get what I'm supposed to get at number 2 rather than you treat me as the number 1 pick like I'm the 6th pick of the draft. Don't draft me. The next day I wake up, draft time comes, they wind up drafting me anyway. It was pretty interesting. We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.